Alright, what's good? I'm back for another video, doing something different. As you could probably see by the title, we're talking about Xenoverse 2, that godforsaken game, right? Now, again, before I start, I want to say it's not a video of me being pretentious or try to, make fun of someone for having opinions. It's not what this is. I genuinely do respect other people's opinions. I'm not here to just, oh, point and laugh and call you a dickhead or some shit for thinking that or having your opinion, right? This just kind of for fun, and just me giving my 2 cents, right? So, as I said, the video is about Xenoverse 2. So, before we get into that, I just want to talk about Xenoverse 2, right? I've played that since I was younger, when it first dropped. I have over 2,000 hours on it on console, not modded. Just genuinely enjoying that game. I still do like the game, honestly. I don't hate it, I don't hate that game, but I also don't try to gas it up to the extent that these people do, right? The shit I see people say about Xenoverse, you would think it's the God's greatest gift to Earth. You would think it's like sliced bread the way people talk about Xenoverse too, right? But continuing on, right? I was there, playing the beta on Xenoverse, making your character, playing parallel clubs with your friends, getting, I was there for all the DLCs to this day. The Dragon Ball Super Goku Black, those two DLCs I had it, Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, Vegito Blue, Merge Zamasu. That's still my favorite DLC. That was the most enjoyable time for me. I think that's peak Xenoverse in my opinion, right? I'm not saying it's the best Xenoverse, the best overall DLC. There are better DLCs than it, obviously, but that was the most fun I ever had with it, right? Personally, right? And it was fun for what it did, all throughout high school and middle school. I would say that. So, I'll give credit to what credit is due. Games don't last this long, right? Xenoverse 2 truly is the GTA 5 for Dragon Ball fans, 100%. I remember I used to make that joke with my friends back then in high school. That shit just doesn't end. It's still getting updates to this day, just like GTA 5. So I will give it hats off to that, because not many games even get the privilege to last this long, right? Look at games like fucking Concord, that absolute travesty, like that $200 million flop of a game, right? Just straight up terrible, right? So in that aspect, I could give it to Xenoverse, right? But the shit people say about this game, bro, I done seen people say crazy shit. I remember when Sparking Zero was first coming out, and I seen people trying to really gas up that, oh, Xenoverse 2 looks better than fucking Sparking Zero. Xenoverse 2 looks better than fucking Fighters. I'm like, dog, where are y'all coming from, bro? Y'all didn't even talk this highly of the game when it was genuinely out. I was seeing people gas this game up to the highest of extent. I'm not even like I made. You could probably go back to when Sparking Zero was first dropping. People were saying, "Oh, I think Sparking Zero got better combo." Not Sparking. I think Xenoverse 2 got better combos than Sparking Zero. Bro, what? What? Bro, what? First off, they're pretty similar in the square triangle shit. But dog, what? Xenoverse that's not even a real fighting game, right? That's an arena fighter, and I wouldn't even call it that, right? Like, Fighters is a genuine fighting game. Like, it's made by a company that actually makes fighting games, and they go to like Evo and people take it seriously. Xenoverse 2 is the most unserious game ever, bro. Like fucking Mario Party. I have more respect for Mario Party than damn Xenoverse, and that game is all just RNG and shit. Like, I don't get it, bro. But there's a take I did see. I'm gonna read it to you right now. Again, this doesn't gas it up to a certain extent, but it does get the point across, right? He says, hot take, right? Revamp is a good project, but it will never replace the original for me. Sure, it does a lot of awesome things, but I always love the main game more as it's official. If you can't play Xenoverse without it being revamped, then you're not truly playing it. You're not experiencing the original vision that the developers wanted you to see, and to me, the original vision is what I want to see. Now, again, I genuinely do respect that opinion. He made a lot of good points. I genuinely agree with that, right? But I also can't agree with that, right? I just can't agree with that, right? So, for any people who don't know, Revamp is in a mod for Xenoverse 2, right? Basically, it just adds on to Xenoverse. That original vision, it doesn't take away from that. It does nothing but add it. It adds parallel quests, it adds moves, it adds characters, it adds story missions. You know, there's a whole mission where you fight Ultra Ego Vegeta and UI Goku. Absolute fucking peak. You got shit like that, and people saying, "Oh, I don't like it because it's not the original." Brother, what? Dog. Bro, the original Vision, dog. Xenoverse original Vision, they can't even do that right, bro. Like, the main draw of this game is creating your CAC and, you know, just going on with that, having freedom to make your own creative character. That game does a shit. This Xenoverse does a shit job at doing that. There's other games that could do that properly. Shinobi Strikers does that properly. Does that better than Xenoverse 2, bro. Fucking Jump Force does that better than Xenoverse 2, bro. Like, the amount of freedom you don't have creating your character is baffling, right? There's like maybe 5 hairstyles, right? Like 4 of the same voices going, hey, 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 like all that shit, bro. 90% of the moves in the game is ass. The clothes, you don't have freedom to change it. You can't change the color of your clothes. All the stuff people been asking for, like, oh, I wish you could change the color of your moves. I wish you could, have functioning tails for Saiyans, I wish you could, have, hits clothes or some shit. All of that you need to do with mods, right? Xenoverse 2 does improve on Xenoverse 1, but that's not really saying much, right? The bar is low. The bar is on the floor. All you have to do is walk over it, right? Like, that's not, like, it wasn't really competition. So when people say stuff like that, like that take right there, I have to just shake my head and disagree, like wag my finger, like no, my friend, I don't think you understand. Original Xenoverse has a bunch of flaws, right? I still enjoy playing it. It's still fun, but saying stuff like that, did the devs have an intention for 90% of the moves to be garbage? Did the devs have the intention for you to have the same fucking hairstyle as everyone else? Everyone basically looks the same, besides the clothes, which pretty much, like, you have people making Goku as a CAC, bro. Just make Goku, bro. I don't get what people are talking about, bro. Right? So you got stuff like that with the CAC portion. The CAC is one of the biggest problems with that game, right? And then you got like the other bad aspects of the game, like fucking PvP. I don't even want to get to that. I never touched PvP. I never touched PvP. I stayed away from that. That's exactly why, like, you cannot say stuff like that. Say, oh, the original Vision is what developers wanted you to experience. Did they intend to have you spamming the Yamcha death pose cheese and P? Did they expect you? Did the developers expect you to spam the same two stamina bar female Majin in PvP? Did they intend for you to have to deal with the shitty ass servers and lag? Go back and watch early Xenoverse. Hell, the servers is barely, I think it's pretty decent now. I don't know. I don't play Xenoverse PvP in 2025. God forbid. That's a fate worse than death right there. I'd rather like beat my shins in with a hammer for 5 hours. I'm not doing that. But the devs didn't intend for that shit. They didn't intend to have, you just running around teleporting all over the place. Like, Xenoverse 2 is just stamina stimulator. That's really all that game boils down to. Whoever stamina drops first is pretty much cooked. You just spam left trigger and X 47 times, and hopefully the netcode is on your side and you win the match, and that's pretty much that. But I don't really know how people could say that. Like, the original Vision, the game barely functioned. The base Xenoverse 2 is barely a game. I don't know. Like, maybe after the 7 gazillion DLCs it got better, sure. But that's pretty much that. Like I said, 90% of the moves is ass. If it's not a DLC move, it's pretty much terrible. The DLC characters, I don't gotta get into that. They have cooked up with some pretty good DLC characters. Like I said, Z Broly was one that was amazing. When I first saw Z Broly, like the base Z Broly that transforms into Super Saiyan, the restricted Super Saiyan, I legit thought that was a mod. It was so high quality, and for some reason they made DBS Videl a character. I'm like scratching my head, but it is Xenoverse. They'll just do random bullshit. They'll sell you Blue Gogeta 1 minute, and then they'll sell you 5 years later base Gogeta that transformed into Super Saiyan, and he's just better than Blue Gogeta. I don't know how, and he has all of Blue Gogeta's moves. I don't get how they did that. You know, saying what it is, my fault if you keep hearing cutting. My recording software is ass. I'm recording this off my phone for God's sake, right? But you know, if you're not forking over money for DLC, then that's that. And then you got these motherfuckers out here having you pay for damn DLC characters that should have been in the game. Like, you had a whole cutscene of Buhan fighting Vegito in a cutscene, right? I forgot which DLC pack it was, because there's like 4 billion. And Buhan wasn't even in the game. They got you paying for Pycon, Buhan, fucking Deborah, Tapion, Bojack, Android 13. And mind you, they're not even transformed, right? They don't even let you transform. That's a big thing. It's Dragon Ball. Like, you want to transform mid battle, you can't even do that with 90% of the characters, right? Like, shit, we might get Transform 13 in DLC Pack 25. Like, that's what they're known for. And it's like, wow. You know, they got me before, but I'm not doing that shit no more, bro. Like, maybe besides Z Broly, that's the only one I pay for, because they actually put effort into it. Like, Xenoverse showed they could put effort into stuff, but they don't. So, you know, that's that. But, you know, you also got, like, what's the original Xenoverse experience? Farming for QQ bangs, doing raid missions. Like, once you get the Q, whatever it's called, the PQXYZ medals, you know, get all the moves. That's that, you know. But yeah, I like just seeing people like say all this stuff about Xenoverse. I like the game, but come on, like, people, you would think this is the greatest thing known to mankind, the way people talking about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right there. I just wanted to, you know, talk about, you know, Xenoverse. Again, I still like the game, but Jesus, people gas this game up too much. Like, god damn. But like that's it for right now. Peace.